So the saga continues. And one of the things we've talked about on this show for several weeks with Aaron Rodgers is how much value is there really in all of this drama? And if you're the Green Bay Packers, I think you got caught off guard in January when you got eliminated again. So how are we in late July and you still have made no adjustments at the quarterback situation? It's a very perplexing situation. It's one that's led the news cycle, especially on ESPN.
Get up!
All spring and summer long. And it's something that everybody's talked about, and it's one of those situations where when you get into the nuts and bolts of it, the Packers won. If you believe what's out there, and the latest, greatest news on Aaron Rodgers is that A-Rod and the Packers have come to an agreement that will keep Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay for one last run in 2021. And by all accounts, including Adam Schefter, ESPN's NFL insider, reporting this morning that Aaron Rodgers will be a free agent after this season. There will be a list of teams that he is forbidden from joining next year. All of that to say Aaron Rodgers is going to spend the next year, Jake, mentoring Jordan Love and trying to win one more championship for the Green Bay Packers. And I just ask, was it all worth it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a tough question to ask. I think we've been asking the is Aaron Rodgers worth it question for, how many years now, and whether it's fair or unfair for Aaron Rodgers, he's never lived up to what Brady's done or what any of the peers he's played with in his generation have done. And I think that for me is a tough part. We see, him do some pretty ridiculous things in the regular season in terms of stats and come from behind wins and all these great things. But at the end of the day, every single postseason, it seems like he runs into Tom Brady and whoever Tom Brady's Scotty Miller is that year. It seems like that happens to him almost every year. And so, to me, is he worth it? Yeah, he's worth it to get to the postseason. Is he worth it for all of this drama? No, absolutely not. If it was me, I would have traded him and I would have got all my first-round picks back. I would have got all that value back. But for whatever reason, the Packers, in all their infinite wisdom, decided not to trade him. And I really don't understand the mentality because you have him, under contract. He's playing the I'm really good, I'm going to choose where I want to go card, which is fine. That happens in the NFL all the time. So as an organization, you have to decide how bad you want to fight. And they clearly, are just resigned to the idea of trading him, which I don't understand. And this is really where the conversation I feel like needs to go. In sports, why is it that it's so hard to say we need to trade this guy even though he's given us a lot of good years? Why is that so difficult? It's like the Dame situation almost, Now, Dame and the Blazers don't have as much vitriol in their situation as A-Rod and the Packers do. But at the end of the day, it's kind of the same situation. And so that's why it just surprises me. This is like Bryce Harper all those years ago, before his departure from Washington to go to Philly. Washington had the opportunity to trade him, and they didn't trade him. And what happened? He signs whatever it is. I can't remember the numbers now, like 13
$300 million.
$330 million or whatever it was, And now you play Bryce Harper all the time. And so to me, I just don't understand it. Get your value back. Why, if you're the Green Bay Packers, are you so scared to not be good for a couple years? Right? Why are you so... Because at the end of the day, think about it. If you're unwilling to trade a guy, if you're unwilling to move on from what you have now, that would only be because you think that what you have now is the only thing stopping you from being a mediocre team. So to me, and this is, we're going to talk Jazz later in the show. This is kind of the same concept with that. Like, suffer now, get some value, get better, and contend for a championship in a couple seasons. Why is that rocket science?
Well, and I think I wouldn't call it rocket science. What I would say is that you have to, if you are the Green Bay Packers, do a couple of things. Learn from this, because there's no way around the conversation that the Green Bay Packers have completely botched this again and again. And this is not something new. The New York Jets and the Brett Favre Minnesota Vikings at the end of the day drama should have never happened. And you would have thought after you ran Brett Favre out of Green Bay or vice versa that you would have learned from this. But now Aaron Rodgers is in strikingly the same situation as Brett Favre. Fans are divided. There's no owner to step in and give you clear direction. And you have the same mess all over again. Does Aaron Rodgers wind up playing for Minnesota, Detroit? I can't imagine he would be a Chicago Bear. Does he wind up in Denver? Does Aaron Rodgers wind up wearing another uniform and somehow, some way finally figures it out in the biggest moments and he wins a ring? Meanwhile, Jordan Love, who I think we all know is never going to be good enough because no matter what he does, he's going to have an incredible amount of pressure to perform. Does Jordan Love ever get over the top with Green Bay Packer fans? How can he? Because he's not going to be as good as Aaron Rodgers was replacing Brett Favre, because nobody will be. Aaron Rodgers, whether you love the Packers or hate the Packers, Aaron Rodgers is one thing. He's awfully good.
You're Aaron fucking Rodgers.
I mean, you're an NFL MVP. You are the most important player on the Green Bay Packers, and the Green Bay Packers couldn't figure it out? How is that possible? This is a historically good franchise, but maybe that's the difference. Maybe the Packers and maybe Aaron Rodgers are just good, not great. And the difference between good and great is very slim, especially in the National Football League, when you have, mediocrity across the league for the most part, and you have a very, very slim number of people like Tom Brady that wind up being elite. And Jake, I just don't know if you're the Green Bay Packers. I don't know how you ever recover from this, because they have this reputation now, and justifiably so, I think, where veterans, and especially star veterans, are not coveted by the Packers, it would not seem.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. And I think, we've also seen this whole situation with Devontae Adams kind of slowly but surely marinating. And I think that, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say what's going to happen with Devontae Adams. I mean, it's been, if you haven't seen it, you've been living under a rock. But, they both, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams on the same day posted that, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan photo from The Last Dance. And obviously that was symbolic and meaningful and everything. And so it kind of starts to allude to the fact that, Devontae Adams is saying, hey, I'm a 99 Madden, bro. I'm the best wide receiver in the game.
I'm sorry. I thought you said a 99 Madden.
Yeah, I'm a 99 in Madden.
Bro.
I'm the best receiver in the game, and I can go wherever I want to because people are going to be paying me left and right.
I'm a 90.
Yeah. If you think guys don't care about that, you're crazy. They absolutely care about that. They care about that.
Hey, man, do you understand the world we live in? Hey, man, how many touchdowns you have last year? I don't know, but I'm a 99 on Madden.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
That's so ridiculous, and it's so true.
Yeah.
You're exactly right about that. And I think Devontae Adams just plays into this. And again, I would caution you as the Green Bay Packers. The Detroit Lions are going to be much better. The Bears are the Bears. They are what you thought they were, which is not good enough ever. Yeah. But this division's getting better. It's not getting worse. And I think at some point, the Green Bay Packers, who, it's hard to spin their failures over the last decade. Since they won that Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, it's awfully difficult to look back and feel good about what you've accomplished in that night.
I mean, that was
1973,
I
think.
Dude, I mean, that might as well have been like 100 years ago at this point.
Well, but that's part of the discussion is that, you're Aaron effing Rodgers, but you're, one of the things you've done is consistently disappoint in big games in January.
You're Aaron fucking Rodgers.
And you want more from Aaron Rodgers, and you're just not getting that. And I think that's why I say, everybody downplays the Matt Stafford to the LA Rams deal. The Rams aren't standing pat, right? Aaron Rodgers is a great player. This is again, look at the NBA, all these regular season heroics. Well, I'm telling you, you don't make your legacy in the regular season. It's cool that Giannis won MVPs and Defensive Player of the Year, but what's made him now? He carried the Milwaukee Bucks to an NBA championship. That's what people will remember. What will you remember about Aaron Rodgers? That Aaron Rodgers hasn't won enough in Green Bay, and he's not considered the best quarterback of his generation.
Nope.
Yet you threw the whole franchise into turmoil and likely cost yourself not only the best quarterback that you have on your roster, but the best wide receiver arguably in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
All for a guy who's not arguably even the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
The Green Bay Packers, Jake, should have moved on. They should have traded Aaron Rodgers far sooner. And by the way, they haven't even traded him yet. And if it's true what Adam Schefter at ESPN is reporting, that he's going to be a free agent after this season, I think this is an incredibly incredibly short-sighted decision by the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I just don't know what, like, okay, so you're going to sign him for one more year because why?
Because you were unprepared. You were unprepared to lose Aaron Rodgers.
But hear me out. What's the worst that's going to happen, right? Think about this. Whether you do it now, or obviously they're not doing it now, but whether you do it now or you do it this coming off season, at the end of the day, you're going to suck once he leaves.
Yes.
You need to understand that as Packer fans. Once Aaron leaves, that next season with Jordan Love and company is not going to be good. So my question is, why are you delaying the inevitable? Why are we pushing off season after season? Because if we really think about this, hasn't this been below the radar going on for 3 seasons?
Yeah, several years.
Right? I mean, we've been kind of the rumor mill. The slow burning smoke has been billowing into the skies of Lambeau for like 4 seasons now about how he's all upset and there's always something going on with Aaron Rodgers. You always joke with how his family hates him. That's the kind of guy we're talking about.
He's a drama-filled figure. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Whether it's which Hollywood star is he dating, his family drama in all seriousness. Like, Aaron Rodgers loves him some Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And he's a guy who has always been high maintenance, and he probably will always be high maintenance. But the other thing that Aaron Rodgers is elite. I mean, the guy in the regular season anyway, you look at Aaron Rodgers' regular season numbers, it's hard to find flaw in the way that he's performed. I mean, last year, 4,299 yards, 48 touchdowns, 9, 5 interceptions. 9% of his passes went for touchdowns last year, which is by far a career high.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is really, really good. When you complete 71% of your passes, when you have that kind of ability, and then you don't win a Super Bowl, and you are
a malcontent. That's what he is, a malcontent.
But you're also 37 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just not able to, in my opinion, you're not able to, to do it in the biggest moments.
Yes.
Those are the things that matter. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has had an incredible run. I mean, what is he, a 9-time Pro Bowler?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers is really, really good. And the thing that I will just never understand is, why can you not be at least content? There's always an Aaron Rodgers problem.
Yeah.
And this, again, plays into my question of, has Aaron Rodgers really been the guy where you're like, yeah, this guy's vital to our team, we must keep him?
Yeah, well, that's what it feels like.
Well, but I think they missed their highest, best return on Aaron Rodgers by 2 seasons.
Yeah.
After, 2 years ago, I think he threw for 4,400 yards. You knew you had trouble then.
Yeah.
Then Mike McCarthy gets fired, and I think about all the stuff that Aaron Rodgers has been through. I mean, again, he's a 3-time MVP, including the reigning MVP. I understand he's playing at a high level, but at some point, you find yourself where you're at now, and that is, you're likely not to get anything in return for Aaron Rodgers, which would be shocking if you're the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not good enough from an organizational standpoint. I mean, again, you have to. This is what it comes down to. Like I was saying, they are not, the Packers organization is not embracing the fact that the Aaron Rodgers, time is over. It's done, And whatever happens this year, at the end of the day, you're going to move on from Aaron Rodgers and go to Jordan Love.
Yeah.
You know that right now. You knew that 4 years ago. You've known this time was coming. I can remember, man, 6, 7 seasons ago, talking about, hey, when are they going to bring someone in to sit behind Aaron Rodgers to learn and to be the next guy?
And Jordan Love isn't that guy. With all due respect to the Aggie Tears, Jordan Love is just not that guy. If he'd have been that guy, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, and that's why I say I just wish that, whether it's the Nationals, whether it was the Seahawks, in their situation, whether it's, Dame in Portland or the Green Bay Packers, at the end of the day, as an organization, at some point, you have to be able to identify, okay, this is now an asset that's giving us, diminished returns. We've just signed this guy and worked out a deal so he can cover us for one more year. For what purpose? What purpose? You really think this guy is going to be locked in on developing Jordan Love? Like, come on, dude.
No.
This isn't Alex Smith and Pat Mahomes.
No, and by the way, he's been here with Brett Favre.
Yeah.
He knows how to snub a player that he doesn't want to do well.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I say, like, Aaron Rodgers isn't worth all of this. And you know what? This is why the Packers are a mediocre franchise. And again, we joked yesterday on the show, but were we really kidding when we said, well, they don't have an owner and the fans and the shareholders and
No, the setup is not good for situations like this.
No, it's not, because you don't have any clear direction on this team. And I think that's what you get when you don't have guys like, think about the icons, guys like the Maras or Al Davis or, any clear Jerry Jones type owner.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones said this week it was his fault that they haven't won a championship. Well, who's that guy in Green Bay? Where's the Hunt family in Kansas City? Where is any of the great historic owners of the NFL to guide this Green Bay Packer team?
Yeah.
And I get it. That's not the setup there. Well, this is where that setup comes to bite you in the ass when you've been mediocre for 10 years and you haven't won a Super Bowl. And I just, man, it's really, how do you say it kindly? You're going on a decade of disappointment and mediocrity. Do something about it.
Tom Brady's real happy with all this happening, by the way.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Real happy.
And that, I guess, is the conversation about Aaron Rodgers. Like, Aaron Rodgers, I'm pretty sure, was on the all-decade team, and, you feel good about it, but he's not Tom Brady. Is Aaron Rodgers better than Drew Brees? I think it's close. I mean, obviously.
I think Aaron Rodgers is a more complete quarterback skill set wise, but I think Drew Brees will be remembered in a more positive light than Aaron Rodgers. I don't have any doubt about that.
Yeah, I think
Aaron Rodgers has the ability to play better outdoors. I think Aaron Rodgers is more flexible. He can do more for you. But when you need, again, Drew Brees in his prime at home in the Superdome, I mean, that was just, I can remember, as a teenager, watching Monday Night Football and them saying, yeah, we're in New Orleans in the Superdome. It's Drew Brees. It's the boys. This is going to be a hell of a night.
Aaron Rodgers or Peyton Manning?
Oh, Peyton Manning. It's not even close.
Aaron Rodgers or Joe Montana?
I didn't get a chance to watch Joe, so that's
Joe Montana by far. Aaron Rodgers or Dan Marino? I'll take Aaron Rodgers. I look at... Yeah, I mean, who else would you even put in this conversation? I mean, obviously Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I think Phillip didn't, turn the ball over too much. I look at, obviously, I'm not even going to say Tom Brady because I think it's disrespectful to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
To even have him in that kind of conversation. But I think when I look at Aaron Rodgers at the end of the day, the legacy is going to be, unless he goes somewhere else and wins, and then it's on the Packers. But if Aaron Rodgers never wins another Super Bowl, it's going to be that he was a guy that was constantly a malcontent, that was full of drama in his personal life, and he wasn't worth all the hassle.
Well, it's what you always say, right? The Hall of Very Good. And that's what he is. I mean, he is a dominant regular season quarterback. It's really just a shame because when Aaron Rodgers has the football, and I can honestly say I enjoy watching Aaron Rodgers play football. Like, let's get that out there. Like, I enjoy the guy on TV, on the football field, throwing the football around. I love watching it. It's a sight to be seen. But at the end of the day, in terms of his legacy and what people are going to remember, you're exactly right. Unless he wins a Super Bowl at his next destination, he's going to be remembered as somebody who didn't get the job done, as somebody who had a lot of issues, and as somebody who dominated the regular season. You know, and I wouldn't honestly, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if he easily got into the Hall of Fame and all that. That wouldn't be surprising to me. I just think that at the end of the day, he's just that guy who's really good but never really won.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Tanner Plummer, good morning to you. Brylark, good morning to you. He says Aaron is going to whatever franchise has the most stable front office. I think all that matters to him is winning, because I think he knows Whether you want to go back a little bit and pick on a guy like a Steve Young, I think he knows he's behind Steve Young. You want to look at the modern era guys, he's behind Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees. Until he wins multiple rings, he's got one. Until he wins another one and perhaps a third with somebody else, Aaron Rodgers is going to be behind all those guys.
Do you think that because it's not like he's never won, right? So just like you just said, he's got one ring.
Yeah, 3-time MVP.
So because of how much success Tom Brady's had, does that then mean that Aaron Rodgers has to win like 3 to be considered, legit, or to be considered somebody who had a winning career, if you will, because of how much he's compared to Tom Brady and how much they've gone head to head?
I think we got to stop comparing people to Tom Brady. Like it is this whole thing. It's an interesting thing that we do in sports. Simone Biles, by the way, this morning pulled out of the U.S. Olympics altogether because of a mental issue. And I think part of this is the pressure that we apply to athletes. And it's an interesting comparison. If you look at Tom Brady literally is, he is the perfect athlete. Physically, mentally. Like, if you drew the perfect athlete, you would, in a literal sense, draw a picture of Tom Brady. He had longevity. He is in great shape. Like, it's everything you want. How many people can actually match Tom Brady?
Nobody yet.
A few, maybe Michael Jordan, even across all sports. Who's the baseball Tom Brady? I don't think there is one. Who's got
Jeter?
Maybe. I think Tom Brady Tom Brady's the best football player ever.
Yeah.
Ever. I don't know that you can match that, but so many try. And it's because of a-holes like us that wind up drawing comparisons to guys like Aaron Rodgers.
Why do you play the game?
Well, that's different for everybody. I don't know that Aaron Rodgers plays the game to be elite, but it would make you think that losing is eating his soul because you're the quarterback of one of the historically great franchises in the Green Bay Packers, and it's not good enough.
Yeah.
I think I look at the pressure that we put on guys, and some can handle it and some can't. I look at guys like, look at Nick Foles. Nick Foles is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever put on an Eagles uniform for one play. I look at
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. Yeah, he has incredibly thin skin.
Yeah.
Which is amazing to me. I look at LeBron. Some guys just don't win as much as other guys do. LeBron, and the comparison of LeBron to Michael Jordan is ridiculous. Played in different eras. They're both spectacular basketball players, but LeBron will never be Mike because Mike's got 6 rings and Mike never lost and Mike always hit the shot and Mike played in a completely different era. We just have this obsession with knocking down great performers.
I just think that specifically, and I don't disagree with what you said. We definitely do. We definitely like to do that. That's what makes, a lot of great conversations happen. But I think at the end of the day, for Aaron Rodgers, the reason that I think the comparison to Tom Brady is fair and justified is because he can't have it both ways. You can't on one hand say, hey, well, I'm this great guy and I'm pissed off with the front office in Green Bay and I want to be traded now like tomorrow and I can request that because I'm some great quarterback, and then not want to be held accountable to the highest standard of being a great quarterback, And so to me, with Aaron specifically, that's why I think the Tom Brady comparisons are so fair and justified because, again, we saw it this past season. Again, NFC Championship game. Tom Brady wins again, And how many times has that happened over the years? So that's why I say it's not that Aaron hasn't had his chances. He's just lost. That's as simple as I can say. And by the way, if you remember this past season, after the Scotty Miller touchdown, going into halftime, Aaron had plenty of opportunities to come back and win that game.
Yes.
He just didn't, and Tom did. So that's why I say I think it is fair. But, when it comes to someone like Simone Biles or when it comes to, Naomi Osaka, those individual kind of athletes, I think it's different because you're alone.
But we look at things like the NFC Championship game. Aaron Rodgers throws for 346 yards and 3 scores, 1 interception. It's just not good enough.
It's not.
Tom Brady throws for 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Oh, man, he's the greatest quarterback ever. Well, because his team won the game. He made an incredible throw to your boy, Scotty Miller.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the mental pressure now is incredible. So we ask, like, why do they play the game?
Yeah.
And I think everybody's knee-jerk reaction is going to be, well, the money. They're doing it for the money. The thing that you learn quickly when you spend time around athletes like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, especially in the NBA, where money is just so immense, the money for the very top of the game, the money is meaningless almost. Sure, you want it and you need it and you initially played for it, but if you're a guy like LeBron or Aaron Rodgers or Bryce Harper, pick your guy.
Yeah.
When you don't win, it eats at you.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to be considered the best. Aaron Rodgers will never be in the conversation for the best quarterback of all time. And I guarantee you somewhere in his soul there's a black hole because of that.
If the money doesn't matter to you, what else is left besides winning?
Yeah, nothing. I'm telling you, nothing. And I know so many guys. Kobe's probably the best example I've ever been around, where the money just didn't matter because it's there. You know it's there. You know you're going to make it. Your legacy is what matters, right? That's what Kobe's all about, that Mamba mentality. Michael Jordan doesn't care about the money. He only cared about beating you and submitting you, right? Like guys like, this is the problem with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor only continues to fight because of the money. Floyd Mayweather only continues to fight because of the money. Mm-hmm. Which is why they ultimately don't achieve at the top of the game. And again, everybody will make the argument that Conor McGregor is the greatest mixed martial artist ever. Well, I disagree. I think I just look at the guys at the top of sport, and I don't think it's that much of an argument. Who's the greatest basketball player ever? It's Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Who's the greatest football player ever? It's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Right? Who's the greatest baseball player ever? There's a little more conjecture in that, but the names.
You know the group.
Aaron Rodgers will never be in that discussion.
Yeah.
Brett Favre will never be in that discussion. And I think for guys like that, that's really tough for them to take because when you go away, and Aaron Rodgers is unique in this, and I think this is why he's insufferable as a human being. He's not easy to befriend. He's not easy to be around, Aaron Rodgers. Because you're just unhappy as a person. And I think part of it is that you have not had that overall ability to be the best at what you do.
Yeah.
And any guy that plays at that level will tell you that. Nick Saban's infamous for this. He quit Miami because he knew he was not going to win there. And that's just not acceptable. Right? I mean, it's why guys like Aaron Rodgers drives away other teammates. And it's why you either love him or you hate him. Anyway, I could go on and on about it. I'm surprised the Packers have let it get to this point. What about Deshaun Watson? Because I think this is also a fascinating discussion. Deshaun Watson now has over 20 criminal cases pending against him.
Yeah.
This is gnar, bro. It came out that outside of all of the cases we know about, 10 police complaints were filed against Deshaun Watson outside of the 24 others. This is now over 30 women that are bringing cases against Deshaun Watson for some sort of sexually based illegality. Mm-hmm. And I'm amazed by this. 10 new women going to the police department. 8 of the women are among 22 women who have alleged in lawsuits that Watson sexually assaulted them or engaged in sexually inappropriate behavior during massage sessions.
Right.
Some of whom were flown across state lines to service him. Now, I just ask myself, what are the Houston Texans doing? They're demanding 3 number ones for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why haven't you traded him yet?
Yeah, again, it's just the age-old question of why would you continue to hold on to this guy. It's getting worse and worse by the day. I mean, this is like the stock you got in on at a great price. It went way up, right? Deshaun Watson was the darling of the NFL, and now the stock price is just going down and down and down and down. Yet you want to continue to hold and hold and hold and hold, right?
Pretty remarkable.
Sell him, get him out of here, move on, and this is what I'll continue to say. And again, this applies to the Packers too. Bad organizations are bad at footballing. They're not good at making the pragmatic decision that their fans are not going to like. And we're going to talk about the Jazz here. I'll say the same thing about the Utah Jazz. The Jazz have forever been an organization that is really bad at making the tough decision that the fan base may not like, but is actually good for the product on the field and good for the organization.
And the hard part about Deshaun Watson is he's in camp now. Like, he's there. He reported. If he hadn't reported, it would have been something like $50,000 a day that he'd have lost.
And it's not by his choice.
No, he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
But he knows he has to be there. And now all the questions every day. Mm-hmm. What's happening? Did you do this? What are you doing? How are you dealing with this? Like, I mean, it's remarkable to me. And his lawyer, the other thing that's amazing, and maybe it shouldn't be amazing. Maybe I guess I should just expect this. His lawyer, Rusty Hardin, is an incredible defense attorney representing Deshaun Watson, is saying that in the case of any settlement, that he and Deshaun Watson will mandate that no confidentiality agreement is signed.
Yeah.
Because they want everything to be public. Deshaun Watson is steadfast. He has done nothing wrong.
Yeah, and I think as long as they continue to take that stance,
You're approaching 30 women charging you or accusing you of sexual acts. Mm-hmm. And you've done nothing. Like, I'm amazed.
Well, this is why. But think about this seriously. Let's go deeper than the surface level of this. So the reason that Rusty Hardin is saying, "Hey, we're not doing buyouts or confidentiality agreements or basically behind closed doors deals," is because he wants the victims, air quotes, the victims, to have to be in the public eye. And I think for Rusty, and obviously by extension for Deshaun, they feel like if they can leverage the public and the media scrutiny and all that good stuff, that it's really going to help them. And I have to say, I do believe that that's an actually halfway decent strategy, because at the end of the day, when you're defending your mentality and you're defending sort of your reputation, at the end of the day, the public eye and the media is what is going to either save you or torch you. Let's say tomorrow it comes out that Tony Busby, the lawyer who is representing all these air quotes, the victims, let's say that tomorrow comes out that all these victims were paid by the Houston Texans and this is all a joke. Not that that'll happen, but let's say it did. Then tomorrow, Deshaun and Rusty are going to be able to say, "We told you so." And this is why we wanted everything in the public eye. So that's why they're going with this angle. They basically want to continue to say, we're not doing closed-door stuff. We're not guilty. We're completely innocent. We did nothing wrong here. This is all consensual. And at the end of the day, they're going with the long play. Deshaun's going to show up to camp. He's willing to suffer through the media. He's going to continue to get paid. And at the end of the day, that's what matters, no matter how miserable it is.
Yeah, no matter how miserable it is right. I mean, I just... Again, teams that are bad at footballing consistently make bad football decisions, and the Houston Texans are making a huge mistake here. If you truly are trying to move Deshaun Watson, you're not asking for 3 number ones. And maybe their price tag is not 3 number ones. That's just what the public face is. Well, if that was the case, he'd have been traded already.
I don't feel like this decision is that hard. This is much easier than the Aaron Rodgers situation. Like deciding to move on from Deshaun Watson, getting, as I like to say, getting what you can get for the guy. Yeah. I don't feel like this is that hard, man. I mean, this is somebody who whether he's guilty or innocent, in reality, he's guilty in the public eye right now. That's what it is. He's guilty. He's on Get Up right now. What are they talking about? They're talking about Deshaun Watson, because these two situations are linked. And who are we not talking about right now? Russell Wilson, because who figured it out? The Seahawks figured it out.
Oh, my bad. Ciara?
Yeah, well.
Mrs. Russell Wilson?
Yeah, dude. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the Seahawks just flying under the radar, all good, got it taken care of, got the relations back on the same page. We're going to go about our business.
Well, the NFL, I mean, we're just getting started in training camp, and there's huge stories already. Obviously, every day as we move closer and closer to kickoff, we'll be talking a lot of football on this show, the National Football League, obviously Pac-12, BYU. We talk a lot of football on this show as we move into the season.